Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B Ward, this is the Post-Mortem Show. I'm Dom.
And I'm JD, and today we're going to bring you our top 5 found footage and POV films, as suggested by listener RJ Lindsay. So
POV films that don't involve facial cum shots.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Thanks for sending in your first ever list. A lot of people are sending us a bunch of lists, and we chose to do this one right away. It was pretty easy to do. Turns out, I know you hate found footage movies, Tom, but there's
a lot of good ones.
Yeah, when you think about it, there was a lot of good ones. I have a lot of honorable mentions too and stuff, but the genre itself sucks. Like, there's probably 50 bad to every good.
Yeah, it's when it's good, but it's also like a fucking, it's easy to make these movies, so everyone does it.
Yeah, it's almost like a crutch for some movies that suck, but when it's a good movie, it's a good movie, so.
I want to apologize in advance if I sound like shit. I'm a little under the weather. And of course it fucking figures that a week before we have 2 fucking wrestling announcing gigs in a week, and I'm supposed to be doing my first live hip-hop performance as Reverend Scratch in 10 years. I get fucking sick.
Yep. That's the way the cookie crumbles, Dom.
Bullshit.
That's your luck.
Yeah.
I would expect the same thing to happen to me. But you'll pull through. Pull through.
I'll find a way. I'll get real high. Doesn't matter.
You'll take some vitamin C. You'll eat a lot of oranges.
I'll channel the fucking spirit of Doug Jones, and I will crush that shit.
Yeah, Doug Jones, wrestling announcer.
At this point, I wish the audience could see. Ooh, I'm creepy. I'm announcing. Ooh, I'm real tall and skinny.
We love you, Doug Jones.
Yes.
So, before we get into our POV found footage movies, we got a little bit of horror news. Horror news. 80s icon and weird fucker, Corey Feldman.
I love that fucker.
Has come out saying he wants to reprise his role of Tommy Jarvis in a Friday the 13th sequel. He wants to do kind of something similar to Halloween H2O, and it almost happened prior to the 2009 reboot. He's hoping the new Halloween sequel that will pick up after part 1 will bring more interest in his project, and he can get it going based on, if this film makes a lot of money, he's thinking like, okay, now's the time to try it again, since it has been 7 years, or 10 years.
Yeah.
So, the Halloween sequel is going to pick up after part 1 and just start from there.
Yeah.
And he wants his to be kind of like that, to where it's a direct sequel to part 5, ignoring my favorite, part 6. So he wants it to be Tommy Jarvis exactly after 5. This is the next movie. Nothing.
Do you think he's going to shave his head with little patches and try and look like the little boy from the beginning of the movie?
Joy!
Well, I gotta say, I think that movie is where Friday the 13th picked up. Like, that's where that franchise really found its stride.
The first one was awesome. I know a lot of people love number 2. It's not one of my favorites, but that's the first good one with. I kind of like 4 also, but that's one of the first good ones with the mask. You know, when it's starting to be like Jason, like, okay, he's the iconic thing.
I'd like to see that happen.
Me too. I have high hopes.
Should...
I mean, if he could stop dancing around like Michael Jackson for 30 seconds with his fucking angels, then maybe he can make it happen.
They'll probably cast the angels.
He actually
as victims.
focused on it. He's like, it was supposed to happen in 2009, but they went with the remake and said, no, you were just dancing around with fucking angels.
What if the movie is just...
I bet when he was doing his pitch, he was just dancing like that, like when he's doing his music.
What if the movie is Jason versus Corey's angels?
He looks like fucking Nakamura,
and that's how Corey defeats Jason Voorhees in a dance-off.
Could happen. I mean, Jason's kind of stiff. So.
Yeah.
What you got this week?
Beginning October 30th through March of 2018, a live theatrical production of The Exorcist will be playing in London, England. The production features Sir Ian McKellen as the voice of the demon, along with a cast of other accomplished British stage actors and what is promised to be some truly impressive live special effects. A trailer for the production is available right now on iHorror.com, and it makes me wish I had some disposable income to travel right now.
Because you would go see it.
I would go see that a fucking live production of The Exorcist with Ian McKellen as the demon.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Fuck yes, I would see that.
Yeah, Ian McKellen's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, that's awesome. Well, I bet it'd be super fucking expensive to get there.
Hopefully it tours. Maybe it'll get steam and
it'll probably be in like San Francisco or something.
Yeah.
We could drive up there.
I would definitely go to San Francisco and LA to see that.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm sure all of our listeners have seen the new It by now. Well, something you may not know about is the theatrical edition of the new It had a cut scene of Pennywise eating a baby.
Wow.
They couldn't make it for the R rating. Mm-hmm. Director's cut has been confirmed, and we are going to get a longer version of the story with more backstory and much more brutality, they said. So they said what you saw in the theaters was restricted. Here's everything, basically. Nice. So I think that with the success in the theaters, this is probably going to be a big DVD and Blu-ray, with those special features and
for sure.
Director's cut and stuff like that. Just channeling more eyes on horror, more eyes with the money to make good horror films. So hopefully we can get some of that money to some of our friends, some of the directors like Lucifer Valentine, those kind of guys, and pump some money into their hands and see what they do.
So I had read that there was a lot of stuff cut for brutality to get the R rating, and that they were going to use some of that in the sequel. So I'm actually more excited to see it put back into the original as a director's cut.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's going to be, they are going to do more that they shot for the sequel, where they're adults, because it's going to be flashback scenes. But this is what got cut to make this, because it was pretty long as it is. For a popcorn movie.
Yeah.
It's a big budget, big Hollywood movie.
Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes is a long time.
That's a long time. So I'm thinking hopefully it's at least 2.5, 3 hours.
Right.
That would be awesome.
So something that I'm not sure is going to be awesome. MGM is bringing the Addams Family back, but taking a step back to its roots and doing it as a cartoon. Because Addams Family originally started out as a cartoon strip in The New Yorker, became a TV show, went on to the movies. Unfortunately, it's set to be directed by Conrad Vernon, who shot out Sausage Party into the theaters last year. There's no word that this is going to be traditional animation or CG. I hope it's not CG. And they've also released no related information on casting. So,
if it's CG like Sausage Party, you can count me out.
Yeah.
Sausage Party wasn't horrible or anything, but just, I don't want a Pixar Addams Family. I want real people,
Yeah, I want some of that, like,
Charles... Cool if they did it black and white.
Yeah, that Charles Addams style, like, kind of ugly, gritty animation.
Yeah.
Or ugly, gritty drawings done as animations. Or, what would be really fucking cool is doing like, claymation, like they did in Extraordinary... What was that?
Extraordinary Tales?
Extraordinary Tales, or the other one, the Lovecraft
Minutes Past Midnight?
Yeah.
What was the name of the segment? Fuck, that was so good.
There was, like, the best segment in the whole thing.
Yeah, listen back a couple episodes in Minutes Past Midnight. Maybe if you search that on our website, you can find the episode we talked about it in. But
it would be really cool to do that kind of animation, or even, like, Corpse Ride Nightmare Before Christmas style animation. Something like that with Addams Family. It's played out, but... if it's just straight up CG, you may as well just fucking watch Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted here because I invited a bunch of people to like my Reverend Scratch page, and someone just sent me a big long fucking message about how Jesus is Lord and he's going to save my soul.
That should have been your horror news then.
That should have been.
Instead of giving me a distracted CG Addams Family, you should have talked about that.
Yeah.
Reverend Scratch is back.
Yeah. Yes. And Jesus is Lord and he's going to save your soul. Ladies and gentlemen,
There's no saving old Scratch.
I am not the person to send that to.
So, as everyone knows by this time, numerous actresses have came out sexual harassment allegations about Hollywood mega producer Harvey Weinstein.
Fuck that guy.
Including horror icons Asia Argento and Melanie Kinnaman from Friday the 13th Part 5. So second Friday the 13th Part 5 reference here today. But Harvey Weinstein is a piece of shit and deserves all the shitstorm coming his way, but there's an innocent victim caught in the crossfire. Oh, God, David, I gotta call my lawyer.
Harvey Firestein?
Harvey Firestein has been a victim of a barrage of tweets and social media shit-talking, thinking that this large gay Jewish man was the sexual harassment groper, because the names are similar. Harvey Weinstein.
There's a
Harvey
big
Firestein.
difference.
There's a big time. This is not really horror news, but based on some of our episodes, if you go back and listen to the Harvey Firestein in our Cast a Killer,
Harvey Firestein is a regular on this show.
Sequel, yeah, we did cast a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
Make our own horror movies about serial killers, and we casted them. I can't remember who Harvey Firestein. I had him as I think he was John Wayne Gacy. But yeah, he's that dude with the raspy voice in Independence Day, the gay Jewish guy that has to call his lawyer, and he's getting a lot of fucking hate on social media right now.
Poor Harvey.
Hashtag poor Harvey.
Yeah, that's like if your name was Victor Salvia.
Struggling director Victor Salvia. Yeah. So
that sucks. Leave Harvey Firestein alone.
Oh, he's gonna call his lawyer.
He's gonna call his lawyer, David. All right. So in February of 2018, CBS Films will be releasing Winchester, The House Ghosts Built, starring Helen Mirren as Sarah Winchester, the reclusive heiress to the Winchester fortune who was plagued by spirits and forced to continue building onto her house until the day she died. The film is written and directed by the Spierig brothers, who will be bringing us the upcoming Jigsaw movie. So, there's some things going for this. I'm hearing good things about Jigsaw, and Helen Mirren is a fucking fantastic actress. So
I'm done with fucking Saw, man.
Yeah, but the problem I have with this is that the only thing less scary than Ouija boards is the Winchester Mystery House.
Yeah.
So, I'll probably wait till it hits video to see it, but I'm interested enough just because I like Helen Mirren as an actress, and she's never really done a lot of horror.
I don't think I'll ever need to see another Saw.
Yeah.
I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Just like Chucky. I'm fucking done with that Chucky after this last movie that you loved and I hated. I'm never watching anything Chucky related again.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's Herbert West versus Chucky. I'm not watching it.
I think you'd watch that.
Yeah, I probably would.
You would.
I would.
Yeah.
I would watch it. So, all right, that's it for horror news, huh?
Yep. Well, I had mentioned before the whole Reverend Scratch thing. That's my new music, or my old music project that I'm bringing back. I'm going to be debuting it live this Saturday on the 21st. Just set up a Facebook page. I just broke 100 likes on it in like my first couple of weeks. But if you're listening to this and you haven't gone and checked it out yet, just look for Reverend Scratch on Facebook and go give me a like to keep updated with this new music project that's going to be my new core focus for the music.
And we will be playing it as our background music, or maybe we'll play it after horror news coming back in the next segment. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for horror news. We will be back with the good movie and the bad movie, and then the top 5 found footage and POV horror movies. The official Dom Found Footage Awards.
the Dom Memorial Found Footage Award.
Dom hates found footage movies. I can't believe you even have 5.
Well, and the funny thing is, I hate found footage movies, but I could have done a top 10.
All right,
Yeah.
well, we'll hear it after the good
It's
movie
a
and the bad
dichotomy.
movie. So we'll be back after this.
Hi, thanks for listening to the Postmortem Podcast. If you want to support us, go to our website at www.postmortemshow.com and click the Amazon link.
By clicking on the Amazon banner, Amazon will give a small percentage of the purchase price of your item back to the Postmortem Podcast at no additional cost to you. That's right. It doesn't cost you any money. We get money. You want us to keep doing this? You want more Doug Jones talk? You want more dick and fart talk? I don't care. We're going to do it.
Fund our filthy, filthy habits.
Yes, and they are many and they are fast.
And most of them aren't legal.
Yes. Click the banner. Just do it.
Come on, don't be a dick. Give us money.
Where are we? Search me. It looks like somebody's marble orchard. Graveyard. It's a fine spot for a crack-up.
Yeah. This is the obligatory rap song about murder. I come from a dark place, 6 feet deep. Got bags under my eyes, cause evil never sleeps. I slip through the mist in the moonless night, and I hide inside of crypts to escape the morning light. Met the devil at the crossroads back in 1992, and I traded him my soul to be the best at what I do. No need to explain, it's not hard to understand. Hidden in my coat is a red right hand. I stalk through the dark, drinking blood, crushing souls. Dropping faithless bodies into freshly dug holes. Smoke a crematory blunt and you know I'm straight chillin'. Cackling with laughter like a melodrama villain. Feel the breath of death when I step into the room. If I had a PhD, they would call me Dr. Doom. Cause I take what's mine and I'll take what's yours. And I'll leave nothing behind but a lifeless corpse. Nothing natural about the way that I was born. Thrust into the world with cloven hooves and horn. Let's ignore the omens, that's what all the people said. They ignore the 3 6s on the top of my head. They ignore the pile of bodies out of crib by age 5. They ignore the babysitters who lost their little lives. They ignore the blood puddle falling underneath the bed. But they got a little mad when I...
It's time for the good movie. And the bad movie.
Okay, we're back. Good movie and the bad movie.
Yeah.
So, I have a really, really, really recent bad movie. But it wasn't the worst, but it's still a bad movie. 2017, directed by John R. Leonetti, starring Joey King and Ryan Phillippe, Wish Upon. Did you see the previews for this?
Never even heard
It
of
was
it.
in the theaters and everything, so it's big budget, but it got pulled pretty quickly. I don't know how well it did. It's about a teen girl discovering a magical box that will grant her 7 wishes.
Oh, yeah, I do remember seeing a preview for that.
As she uses her wishes for personal gain, bad things begin to happen to those around her. She discovers an evil entity lives inside the box and may be behind the gruesome deaths. So, I have to kind of admit about this movie, I'm kind of pulling a Dom.
You knew it was going to be bad?
I had no high hopes for this movie whatsoever, but it was easily accessible. I knew I was going on my honeymoon and I had to watch something, you know. Ended up watching it, and it's not the worst, but I figured I would be the guinea pig for it this week.
Okay,
just like
it's
you
about goddamn time.
Opens with a little girl playing with her mom. Everyone is so happy, and the mom goes up to the attic. The little girl witnesses her mother hang herself for no reason.
All right.
We then get present day, where Claire awakens from that memory. Off to school with her, where her dad, Ryan Phillippe, is dumpster diving and finds a music box for Claire. Preppy little bitch named Darcy makes fun of Claire, saying she's a garbage person, just like her dad digging through the garbage. You know, that kind of the timely story that's been done time and time again.
Ryan Phillippe's old enough to play someone's dad now. Jeez.
Yeah. So they get in the weakest fight ever, despite their cruel intentions.
Oh.
Back at home, Claire makes a wish on the box that she got from her dad. Her wish is that Darcy would, I don't know, just go rot or something. So that's exactly what happens. She starts rotting while she's still alive.
It's like the monkey's paw.
Bacteria kind of thing. And then when it happens to her, the box opens. So every time something happens to somebody, the box will open and play its little song and then close, you know? And that means the wish has been, like, paid off. So you know what she's going to wish next for? Certain boy to fall in love with her. Madly in love.
Madly.
He does. A little bit stalkerish, you know? Madly in love. So... then it's for money, but as these wishes are granted, bad things begin to happen to people close to her. Her dog dies, people are hurt. Even Sherilyn Fenn from Boxing Helena is not safe.
Wow.
Helena herself is a victim of the wish.
Does she have her arms and legs back?
She does have her arms and
Maybe
legs
she
back.
wished for them, and this is her getting her comeuppance now.
I was like, who is that? I've seen her before. So she's not like Deanna Quigley or Barbara Crampton or anything like that. That's kind of kept it together.
Gotcha.
I'll say that much. Well, I feel bad saying it, but it ends up being a backstory about the curse of the wishing box in ancient China, but there isn't really much of an extensive plot. That's it. Wishes go awry. It's like Wishmaster has a bigger, deeper plot.
Yeah.
I love Wishmaster to death. This didn't really have that. It is kind of like the monkey's paw.
You know, if you ever get something that offers to like grant you your wishes, just tell it to go the fuck away. Like, seriously, because like you could be like, I wish for a 12-inch dick. And, like, a fucking 12-inch tall man named Richard will show up and he won't leave you the fuck alone.
Or you get it, but you don't get it where you want it.
Yeah, it's coming out of your forehead or something.
No, I meant going into your bum. So this is a total teeny PG-13 popcorn horror movie. It definitely needed Mike Flanagan or another more capable vision. Acting is okay, and there are minimal effects. The story is simple, nothing new or groundbreaking. They did go in a different direction at the end than I expected. There's a couple points there, but... obviously, nothing gonna change the fucking world here with this movie, Wish Upon. IMDb only gives it a 4.9. I'd say it's a little bit better than that. I'll go with 5.5.
Okay.
We don't even have a rating system.
We don't.
We didn't even talk about a rating system.
Jesus Christ.
What is our fucking rating system, Don? 5.5 sexually harassing Harvey Firestein.
Yeah. Oh, David.
David, is that a new blazer?
I'm gonna call my lawyer and tell him to suck my dick. All right. So I have a problem with good movies and bad movies right now, which is that I have not watched a truly bad movie in like 3 weeks.
That's crazy. Like, I have the opposite problem. Like, I haven't watched anything groundbreaking.
Yeah.
You know, it's been just things that are middle of the road.
Yeah.
You know? Not horrible, but not great.
So my bad movie is actually just a less good movie.
Okay.
At this point. It's a 2014 slasher film directed by the unfortunately named Alex Merkin.
God damn it, why did you review first? Merkins would have been it for sure. I don't know, I think I like sexually harassing Harvey Firestein.
Yeah.
Like, there's plural of them. No matter,
Yeah.
you know, if you rate the movie an 8, there's 8 Harvey Firesteins all sexually harassing you, groping at you.
Cloning goes horribly wrong.
What if they're connected?
This is what happens when
What
you
if
play
it's
God.
a human centipede of Harvey Firestein sewed ass to mouth?
The Harvey Centipede.
Definitely needs to call his lawyer for that. You better not sue us, Harvey Firestein. You know,
Yeah.
we're not bad-mouthing you.
No, we're supporting you.
I came in supporting you, yeah.
That's right.
Weinstein's the chump.
That's right. So this movie's streaming now on Netflix. It's called House of Bodies.
House of Bodies? That
Yeah.
sounds horrible.
I expected it to suck and was shocked when it was adequate. So the description that you get on IMDb is that a detective works to solve a case involving a young deaf boy and a website that's run out of a home that once belonged to a serial killer. It's a pretty fucking simple explanation or description. The more in-depth one that I wrote is that in the early 90s, serial killer Henry Lee Bishop, played awesomely by Peter Fonda, slaughtered several young women in his house. Years later, a goth chick who runs a camgirl site buys the house and runs a unique form of interactive porn out of it, where the camgirls reenact the deaths that took place in the house, but with a sexier twist.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One night, a copycat killer shows up and slaughters everyone in the house, while a single viewer, happens to be a deaf-mute guy, watches over the internet. Detectives turn back to Henry Lee Bishop to help them identify the copycat, only to learn more about Bishop's dark past than they ever expected.
Can you give me one second to interject here? Deaf and mute, at least the penis still works, right? Why is he on a camgirl site?
You know, he can't talk to anyone except for his therapist, who's played by Queen Latifah. He doesn't know how to talk to girls other than that. Because
goes up and starts humping the shit out of Queen Latifah's role.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, "Bro, I'm a lesbian," but he can't hear her.
All right.
So,
I'm sorry. Continue.
The writing in this movie is actually pretty solid. The characters, though a little shallow, still felt real and unique, and the relationship between the deaf-mute guy and the quote-unquote innocent cam girl was also interesting and kind of endearing in a guy that falls in love with a stripper sort of way. The twist ending, which I won't spoil, was better than anything M. Night Shyamalan has ever done. And the only thing that took some getting used to is the fact that the story was told out of sequence, which was kind of jarring and confusing at first, but once I figured out the time jumps, it all started to come together.
It's like Pulp Fiction, huh?
Yeah. Well, like, people who died in the beginning come back 3 scenes later, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And then, like, you start to realize that, you know, how things are going.
Yeah.
The acting was also pretty solid. All of the no-name actors were effective in their roles.
It's got Queen Latifah.
Well,
Wasn't she in Set It Off?
She was.
You can't go wrong, man.
Yeah. She actually produced this movie.
Did she set it off in this movie?
No. She makes a pretty good therapist, though. She's a
Does
believable
she rob a
therapist.
bank as a therapist?
That would be cool. So all of the no-name actors were effective in their roles, some better than others. Nobody really stood out from them, but Peter Fonda fucking killed it as the serial killer.
I haven't heard much about him for a long time.
He hasn't done much.
Yeah.
But he's just old and fucking grizzled and kind of nasty enough to really have
Surprised
that.
that we haven't heard more about this, though, with a bigger name.
Yeah.
Like that, you know?
And he obviously turned to Henry Lee Lucas for inspiration.
I wasn't making a Queen Latifah joke about bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking about Peter Fonda.
Yeah. Well, you know, the show is known for its black humor, so. Terrence Howard was also really good as the detective.
I like Terrence Howard a lot.
Yeah, he was great.
I'm glad he quit the fucking Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm tired of all these good actors getting sucked up by the fucking Marvel and DC universe. I don't want to, like, all these people that are good, go to that because they can make a shitload of money.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, apparently him and fucking, what's his name? The guy who played Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. Apparently they didn't get along in the first movie. And Robert Downey Jr. was like, "You got to fire this dude."
Which one owed the other one for crack?
Yeah, that's a good question. And most of the movie with the scenes with with Terrence Howard and Peter Fonda was the two of them interacting. So it was really cool to see these two really strong actors doing these scenes. And I want to see more of Peter Fonda as a serial killer. You know, maybe not this character because of what happens in the movie, but like I could actually see him playing like a Henry Lee Lucas or something like that. The special effects were cheap as fuck. Most of the kills were accomplished with stage blood splatter, stuff happening off camera. There was no prosthetic work to speak of. One killing where the killer beat a woman to death with his bare hands looked fucking terrible. He obviously wasn't even touching her at all.
You lost me.
Yeah. The punches were whiffed. That was bad. That really took me out of it. The killings were the worst part of the movie, and when you're making a slasher movie, that can't be what it is.
Just don't show it. Like, you could do much more with not. If you can't make the kill look good,
yeah,
don't show it. Show a gruesome, decaying body and shit that's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah. You know.
Show the rock over the head. Cut to the fucking rock in the guy's hands. You only see the hands on the rock.
Yeah.
And then you hear the fucking splat, and then you cut down to the fucking rock on the head that's all splattered. You don't have to make it look like it's happening.
Yeah, leave it to the imagination.
If Alfred Hitchcock and people like that did so much so long ago with no fucking effects.
Yeah, even the early Friday the 13th movies, you didn't actually see a lot of the kills. Mm-hmm. You know, it was all just dead bodies afterwards.
Which is so much easier to do. So all these fuckers with all this fucking Netflix, Amazon Prime bullshit horror movies that we rate like a 1 to a 3, it seems like. That's all I gotta do, because this kind of shit does not fly.
Yeah, step up your game and direct a fucking movie.
Fuck this movie. I know you said you like it, but fuck it. And I've never seen it.
So, as I said, this movie may have been my good movie, if my good movie, which I'm going to talk about later, I didn't think it was so awesome. Compared to a lot of stuff out there, it's definitely way, way better than I expected.
Because the acting is better.
Yeah, the acting was good, the writing was good, the twist was like, oh, that's unique.
Yeah.
It just had some fatal flaws in its production and pacing that took it down a few notches, but I'm still going to give it a 6.0 out of 10 Firestein centipedes.
Sexually harassing
Firestein centipedes.
Do you think when they're so together, they're sexually harassing each other?
They're definitely
like
rimming each other.
Like daisy chain of human centipedes.
Yeah.
That's horrible. All right, my good movie this week. It's actually a true story, true crime horror. 2016 Australian true crime horror based on actual events, written and directed by Ben Young, starring Ashley Cummings, Emma Booth, and Stephen Curry. The Hounds of Love. Have you seen it? It's not The Hounds of Love. It's just Hounds of Love. Huh. 1987, Perth, Australia. John and Evelyn White are a pair of serial killers who target teenage girls. One night, Vicky Maloney, who impetuously sneaks out of the house for a forbidden party, is lured by the pair into their clutches. Now paying dearly for her naivety, Vicky must endure a horrific nightmare of confinement and torture at the hands of this depraved pair. Against these murderers, Vicky's only chance of survival is a mix of subterfuge, cunning, and mind games, while her estranged parents and her boyfriend desperately try to learn what has happened and what can be done to find her. Meanwhile, the Whites have growing problems of their own, which could provide the only hope Vicky could have to survive. So,
cool.
Definitely feels like 1987. In the setting, they paid great attention to the detail to give it that vibe. It's based on the notorious true story of David and Catherine Burney, a.k.a. the Morehouse murders. Have you heard about that?
Mm-mm.
It was a little earlier than 1987, but it's a true crime Australian serial killers. They changed the names.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like The Girl Next Door in that way, a little bit of names.
Right.
And shit. The Whites like to abduct, torture, and tape young girls at their house. It's set up perfectly to do so, too. All the locks are key locks in the windows and doors from the inside. So you can't get out no matter what. Barred windows and stuff like that. There's also a high perimeter fence and dogs. Film opens with them disposing of the previous victim by burying her in the yard. Then we meet Vicky. She's having a rough time with the divorce of her parents. Her dad overcompensates by buying her a puppy and showering her in affection, but her mom is a bitch. Her only solace is her boyfriend. Late at night, she sneaks out and walks to meet him at a party and keeps getting cat calls and rude people as she walks until she meets the Whites, who offer her a ride. What could be the harm in that, Dom? Taking a ride from a middle-aged couple?
Nothing at all.
A middle-aged Australian couple that ends up offering her weed So she comes to their place to get it, and they drug her drink. Of course, then she is tied up and assaulted, while the fucking Moody Blues, Nights in White Satin, is blaringly loud the entire time. It's very jarring.
Wow.
The fucking Moody Blues.
Yeah, because that's like a kind of...
Never reaching the end.
It's a very dramatic song.
Letters I've written.
Never meaning to say.
Stephen Curry is very creepy as John White, but Emma Booth takes the cake as Evelyn White. She seems really nice, but a little off, and has this fucking crazy look in her eyes. She looks like she's the way a wounded animal would look, like that's like gonna do anything to survive, kind of, but all the time.
Okay.
Even though Evelyn helps John in his crime, she's insanely jealous of the attention the other girls get from him, namely the raping.
Jealous of the rape, huh?
Jealous of the rape, yeah. They also have to.
Why won't you rape me?
Yeah, she does that too. She tries to make him choke her and shit.
Wow.
Yeah. They have to deal with a nosy neighbor who threatens to call the cops if the screaming doesn't stop. He thinks it's domestic violence, not kidnapping, though.
Okay.
Cinematography in this movie is very cool. We get slow motion shots of the community where the camera is panning fast down a city block, but everything is going in slow motion. It look really unique, especially there's water from sprinklers and a hose, like girls jumping over a hose and stuff. All while this is happening, there's this droning music going on. While this beautiful slow motion shot is happening, just this boom, boom, droning fucking gritty and ultra realistic camera shots in slow motion with this droning thing. You know?
That sounds cool.
It's definitely a slow-paced movie. If I can compare it to another true crime and vibe, it would be 2006's Carla. Have you seen that, Carla?
I have not.
The chick from That 70s Show plays her. And they're famous Canadian murders.
Yeah.
Crimes are also very similar. If you're into true crime and okay with it taking a while to deliver, then check it out. So, IMDb was 6.6. I would give it 7.1 sexually harassing Harvey Firestein human centipedes.
Wow.
Firestein-opede, if you will.
Firestein-opede. Do you think Gangrel's in that centipede too?
Probably. He was at number 3.
Yeah. That sounds cool. I've been listening to a lot of the true crime podcasts recently, like kind of just like in the background. And
it's like watching Forensic Files.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like, it's more interesting.
Yeah,
you know, because especially the people like serial killers who do like mass amounts of crimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of like, you know, clicks off the psychologist in me, and you know, makes me want to check out things like that. So I think once I have a free moment, I'll check that out, and you know, probably roll on some documentaries too.
Yeah, definitely. So. All right, what's your good movie this week?
All right, my good movie, 2017 horror comedy, streaming now on Netflix, made by Netflix, directed by McG, The Babysitter.
What the fuck? All right, so I saw this as well, so I'm going to pile on with you.
Okay.
I'll let you take the reins here. I will try not to interrupt you multiple times, but I will interrupt you multiple times. But McG, what the fuck? It's like Madonna or something. He's got 3 letters of a name.
Yeah.
Mick, like McDonald's with a capital G.
Yeah.
And that's his fucking name.
Like the McG
and he
spot.
directed a bunch of bullshit.
That's Ronald McDonald's vagina.
So
is the McG spot.
When this movie started, I saw that and I said, McG, what the fuck? So I looked him up on IMDb while I was starting to watch the very beginning. I'm like, I have no high hope for this movie. Yeah. Based on what he'd made in the previous...
Yeah, well, he did a lot of music videos, and he's actually done some TV that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of a silly name. And and it still makes me think of Ronald McDonald's vagina.
Yeah.
With big, bushy red hair. And a chicken nugget for a clitoris.
Did you know it was on the Blacklist Awards?
I did not.
2014 Blacklist of the best unmade screenplays.
Yeah. No, I just read the description of it and saw a babysitter and satanic ritual and was like, all right, cool, I'm checking this out.
Yeah.
So the IMDb description is very vague. It says the events of one evening take an unexperienced turn for the worst for a young boy trying to spy on his babysitter. Pretty not descriptive of what happens in the movie.
Tell what's going to happen, and it's like it happens right away. So it's not a fucking spoiler. This movie it's fucking not realistic at all.
It's a cartoon.
It's like a cartoon. Yeah.
So Cole is a 12-year-old loser, bullied by almost everyone except for his best friend who lives across the street and his super hot babysitter B. When his parents go on vacation, Cole pretends to be asleep so that he can see what B gets up to when she thinks he's sleeping. Turns out that B is a satanic witch heading a cult that commits human sacrifice and uses Cole as a fountain for innocent blood. Cole witnesses one of these sacrifices, gets caught by the cult, and then everything goes wrong in the bloodiest way possible.
That's true. And, B, as a character, before the shit hits the fan and stuff, is super cool with
Very
him.
cool, yeah.
She catches a bully making fun of him and calls him a pap smear.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Also, she's wearing a teeny little bikini around him, swimming with him.
Yeah.
And
giving him a prepubescent boner.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I thought that the writing on this movie was really good. It's one of those movies where instead of a bunch of victims being killed off by a monster, the monsters are picked off one by their intended victim. And beyond that, I thought that the relationships between all of the characters were interesting. Cole and B seem to love each other even though she's trying to kill him. And Cole seems really conflicted by all of this. But the thing that I liked even more than their relationship, which was the main focus of the movie, was the jock. Trying to kill him.
But he's also hey, go get him.
Yeah, he I want you to be a man before I kill you. Yeah. And stops trying to kill him long enough to try and get him to stand up to the bully.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I like that a lot too. And the violence in this movie is way over the top, kind of like Dead Alive / Brain Dead, but more cartoonish.
Yeah.
There's some shitty CGI and CGI fire, but not much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of practical.
And the practical effects were good.
Practical effects were good, but
not realistic, but good.
Yeah, especially the fire. I hate CG fire. Doesn't need to happen.
Yeah.
Fire's cheap.
Yeah.
Just don't burn a fucking house.
Yeah, fire's cheap and easy.
We write it to where something burns down that's not a fucking house. Right?
Yeah.
It won't cost that much,
Yeah.
Or build a tiny little house and build a tiny little fire.
And then blow it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A tiny little house. Like Beetlejuice did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking...
Alec Baldwin did it in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, he did. Fucking The Gate, they blew up a tiny little house in that movie too. Yeah. It was obviously a tiny little house, but fuck it was The Gate.
Yeah.
So... there are a lot of awkward moments that I thought played for really good laughs in this movie, too. And instead of being one of those horror comedies that relies on cartoonishness to mask its shortcomings, this was more of a comedy of relationship that happened to be bloody and had cartoonish Rube Goldberg killings. It's not like they were hiding behind the cartoonishness, I didn't think.
Yeah.
It had strong writing, and then they're like, fuck it, let's make this ridiculous.
For sure, it is ridiculous. And really good cinematography.
Yeah.
It would randomly go to first-person view, but it's not jarring and actually really cool the way they did that.
Yeah.
When they switched to that first-person view. And even when they're talking about their intergalactic dream team, it has the words on the screen and pictures of what they're talking about. And, her team is a Xenomorph, Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, and Spock.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the movie Scott Pilgrim in that way.
Yeah, it had a very Scott. It was like Scott Pilgrim meets.
But I like it more than Scott Pilgrim.
Oh
I
yeah,
really
for sure,
that, yeah.
for sure. All of the acting and characters in this movie I thought were very solid. The members of the satanic cult were basically inversions of the stereotypical horror movie victims. There was the jock, the funny stoner, the cheerleader, and the creepy chick, with B being an inversion of the it girl, which I thought was a pretty unique concept, where you take all of those character archetypes, but then you make them the bad guys.
Yeah.
All of the characters were played by charismatic actors who brought a lot of entertainment value to these characters. Samara Weaving as B created a character that you love and hate, and she seems super cool before the psycho comes out of her, and when she goes bad, even though she's going to go bad because you read the description, it's like, oh, you betrayed me, you bitch.
Yeah, it really was like that. The main problem was about halfway done with the movie. I'm like, okay, where can you go from here? You really have to suspend your disbelief because cops come to the house in the first act of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking 20, 30 minutes in of the movie. They're brutally slaughtered by the people. But then that just solves the problem.
And then he shoots the girl in the tit.
Who
shoots someone in the tit?
And why did she fly the fucker like it's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon across the river?
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous.
It was fucking stupid. Yeah. And you brutally slaughter cops and then talk on the radio, with the code so the cops don't come. But the cops outside with the fucking lights, the car's going with the lights the entire movie.
Yeah.
After that.
Until she goes and gets rid of it.
Came back. They would have asked again after.
Well, they did get the police code for we're going and getting hamburgers.
I know, but that was hours into the movie, so
inept cops. It's definitely a suspend your disbelief kind of situation.
Definitely, it has a lot of style and flair, but not too much substance. Like in the writing, the writing is good, dialogue wise, and scenario wise, that's good. But the actual plot of this movie, there's not much of a plot. There's not a good backstory. There's not you never find out what the fucking book is.
Right.
It never really explains what the fuck is going on here. It just sets up this thing. It delivers what it delivers, but at the end of the movie, I didn't really care about it. The only thing I really cared about was the girl B. Like, I didn't care about the kid as much as her.
I like the kid. You know,
I did too, but he wasn't like... He didn't have a lot of backstory or anything, you know? It's just like him reacting to situations, but... This movie lacked, like, subplot and extended development and, like, reasons why people are doing things. It's just, things happen. Here's a laugh. Here's extreme gore. Here's some shitty extreme gore. Here's a good one. Yeah. And then here's another laugh, and then this happens. Okay, here's the go home.
Yeah, they could have given it 20 more minutes of backstory, and it would have pulled you in a little bit more.
It's like a shitty match where it's a bunch of flashy moves, but there's no psychology.
Right.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It was a spot fest.
Yep.
It was a good spot fest.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was definitely a spot fest.
It's worth watching if you like horror comedies. Like, if you want to just turn your brain off and just drink some beers or do whatever, you know, and just watch this movie, you can do worse. But, it's not anything super great, though, to me.
Yeah. On the whole, I thought it was a solid slasher comedy. It turned convention sideways to put a new spin on familiar old stories, which I liked. Strong acting, good direction, and a willingness to kind of go all the way out there with violence and get really ridiculous with it.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of the better movies to come out this year, though it doesn't have much competition. And I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 sexually harassing Harvey Firestein centipedes.
Okay. IMDb gives it 6.5. I would say that's pretty close. I'm going to give it 6.7. Sexually harassing Harvey Firestein. It's what is it?
Human centipedes.
What did I call it? I didn't call it Harvey. Firestein-opedes.
Firestein-opedes.
Firestein-opedes. That's what it is.
So what is the 0.7 of a Harvey Firestein-opede? Is that like the?
It's the stubble. It's just the stubble.
Yeah.
It's the stubble on the. So like, okay, if you're looking at a green screen, there's floating stubble on some fat cheeks, but only the full beard and second chin are showing. So it's just the chin with the chin stubble, a little bit of neck beard, and then a little bit of face stubble.
And a boner.
Floating.
Oh, David.
All right, so that's a good movie and the bad movie.
That's it. So we will be back with our top 5 found footage and POV movies after this. Thank you guys for all your support, sharing our shit, liking our page,
listening
weekly,
not suing us
semi-weekly,
getting semi-hard
for 30 seconds once.
Yeah.
No matter how long you listen, we still support you. Unless it is just one episode, then fuck you.
Yeah.
You better run for the fucking hills.
Run through the jungle.
That's not what this is about. No. What this is about is we have now started the official Facebook group of Post-Mortem Show.
Go on Facebook, look up Post-Mortem Show Horror Movie Podcast for a chance to share your favorite horror memes with us and occasionally be shit-talked by me.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah, I've already done it once.
Yeah, guys, join the group. We have thousands of listeners to the show. Right now, the group only has about 300 members.
Yeah.
So please add yourself. Please share it. Share it with the world.
Yeah. Just don't say stupid
ass
racist shit.
Let us into your lives. Listen to your lives.
Yeah. Open yourself wide. Open yourself to us.
You want to talk to Biff?
We will
soon to be one-eared Biff.
We will put Biff on the computer if that's what you want.
We're gonna have an official event in the group. It's gonna be Facebook Live Q&A with Biff, and I'm just gonna put Biff on Facebook Live, sitting there, and he'll answer all your questions.
Maybe we could do it as like a video chat thing.
Yeah, so that's official Facebook group, Post-Mortem Show Horror Movie Podcast. Please join. Please share it with your friends. And we're back with the top 5 found footage and POV movies as suggested by a listener, RJ Lindsay. Thank you for sending in a list. We appreciate it.
First suggestion from RJ.
Yep, and if you
Popping the cherry with POV.
And if you guys want to suggest a list, you can email us at postmortemshow@gmail.com. You can like and share or message the Postmortem Show Facebook page, or you can join the group, the new group, Postmortem Show Horror Movie Podcast on Facebook. So get on there, tell us what kind of top 5 you want to do, and give us your list, and we'll read it on the air as well, just like we're going to read RJ's at the end. So,
all right.
Found footage, not a strong category for Dom, but it turned out to have a plethora.
Yeah, we talked about this before we started recording. Found footage is one of those things that, like, when it's good, it's good. It's just that there's a lot of it that's shit.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do in terms of filmmaking that so many people hide behind it. But there are movies that take the genre and its givens and its tropes and actually do something cool with it. Sometimes it's mockumentaries, sometimes it's POV, sometimes it's something that looks like a snuff film.
Yeah.
And my number 5 is The Taking of Deborah Logan.
I love The Taking of Deborah Logan.
Fantastic movie.
Really liked it a lot, and it definitely came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of movies that we talk about this a lot, that it's the blah, blah, blah of, and a girl's name.
Yeah.
Or a town, Haunting of Connecticut or whatever, or,
The Haunting of Connecticut 2, not taking place in Connecticut. And
Exorcism of Molly Hartley.
Yeah.
Just fucking combination of something and a name. Most of that's horrible.
Yeah. This movie had 3 things going against it. 1, it was a found footage movie. 2, it had that title issue. And 3, it was another fucking demonic possession movie.
Yeah.
But this movie did something really cool and turned demonic possession into a sort of analogy for dealing with a loved one in the family getting dementia.
Yeah. And also, it's like Gilf Anacondas.
Yeah. So, very good movie. If this is one that you slept on because you thought that it was going to be another one of those fucking Exorcism of Molly Hartley movies or whatever, don't skip it. It's a real good movie, and it takes all of the tropes and it uses them effectively. It is a masterclass.
We both saw it streaming on Netflix. It might still be streaming there. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched it since the first initial time, honestly. But I really like that fucking dishinged jaw scene.
Yeah.
That was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything that creepy for years before that.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the movie. So my number 5 is one I reviewed and gave it my surprising good movie rating of the week. But Digging Up Tomorrow. It's a mockumentary, kind of POV, found footage movie by Adam Green, the guy that made Hatchet.
Yeah.
And he follows Ray Wise, who's a monster hunter. And he has this whole thing of sending in, following all these fake things, paranormal, that kind of stuff. And they go hunting for monsters. But the thing is, Ray Wise is the fucking real deal.
Yeah.
And there are monsters.
They're out there.
It's so fucking good. And it's so funny. And it's so great. The acting's great. I mean, come on. You can't go wrong with Ray Wise.
Yeah, even in shitty movies, he's good.
And the effects are good. Everything about this movie is good. And it's kind of like What We Do in the Shadows kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't really like the mockumentary feel of it and stuff like that. This is on par with that, though, because I did like What We Do in the Shadows. Mm-hmm. This is as good as that or better, I'd say.
Nice.
So, and I like Hatchet a lot, but this is a completely different thing. Adam Green is one of the main characters, and it's one of those kind of self-deprecating movies to where he comes off like a douche, but he's doing it on purpose.
Right.
And he's playing himself.
Yeah, that's the only way you can put yourself in a movie is to really
so
make fun of yourself.
That's a great part of it, though. And he's talking to Kane Hodder, and he's talking to Mick Garris and people like that at horror conventions and stuff like that. So, yeah, check it out. Digging Up Tomorrow. Have you seen it yet? You haven't watched it yet?
I have not. No.
Yeah, you got to check it out. I got to send you home with it.
Cool. My number 4 movie that I reviewed very highly and quite possibly outside from Cannibal Holocaust, which is not on my list, though it is an honorable mention, the movie that started it all, Ghost Watch.
Oh, yeah. You talked about this as a good movie, huh?
Yeah. Very good movie.
Hidden gem.
Yeah.
I still need to fucking watch that.
It's a BBC. It was a show made for BBC that they aired before Halloween night, before Ghost Hunters or any of these other shows were actually a thing. And it was that premise that they go into the haunted house to investigate it.
But
and
they presented it like fact.
Yeah, they presented it like fact. Everything goes wrong. The ghost gets into the TV system, gets into the studio, and starts fucking with things. And this movie was so scary when it came out that people actually committed suicide while they were watching it.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Very well done, even for its time, because it was early 90s when it happened. And very compelling movie.
Definitely. My number 4 is The Sacrament.
Great movie.
I love it. A lot of people don't like it. Can you believe that? In the horror community, a lot of people talk shit about it. And as Ty West as a whole, I mean, some of his movies are a little pretentious and stuff, and they're a little slow, but...
He knocked that one out of the park.
I really liked it. It's the whole Jim Jones thing, and the guy who plays the cult leader is amazing.
So good.
With his fucking lips and stuff.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of, like, Marlon Brando in Island of Dr. Moreau, but a cult leader.
He's like if you took Marlon Brando from Island of Dr. Moreau and smashed him up with John Goodman. You would get that guy.
Yeah. And he does a
that
fucking
is a conception that I would not want to watch.
You feel, as a viewer, if you pay attention, you feel trapped, like, with them.
Yeah.
Like, the camera's you.
Yeah.
Like, your eyes, and you're trapped with them while all these things are happening, and the shit hits the fan, but I really liked it a lot, so that's why it's my number 4. So.
Very well done. My number 3, movie that's got a sequel coming out soon, Creep.
It's my number 1.
Really?
My number 1.
Wow.
I love me some Creep.
Yeah.
Let's get to that later.
Okay.
My number 3. Movie that never really came out on DVD and is going to get a release soon, though. But it's been all over Netflix and Amazon and things like that, iTunes. Poughkeepsie Tapes.
It's my number 2.
Your number 2. All
right. Let's talk about it.
So, Poughkeepsie Tapes. That fucking mask.
Fucking great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Just well written, well shot. Makes you feel like something you shouldn't be watching. And gritty and creepy and fucking nasty, and you know it's like a movie of Leonard Lake and Charles Ng.
It's almost like it gives me the same vibe as when I'm watching August Underground.
Yeah,
but like on a more mainstream level.
Right.
And August Underground is a lot more hardcore, obviously.
Yeah.
But it kind of gives you that same kind of vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? And that's a good thing. It's a compliment. So I like Poughkeepsie Tapes a lot.
All right. So my number 2 is Poughkeepsie Tapes. Your number 2 is...
my number 3. My number 2 is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Fuck yeah.
Our screening. The first half of the movie is found footage style. Then it cuts to a straight horror movie, but great found footage. I didn't want to put it on the list because half of it isn't, but those guys were so cool. We did our live show. We interviewed the star, and we interviewed the writer, and we interviewed another guy that was in the movie, and then we called in multiple people that were on the show with us in the live show. And
Angela Goethals, who finally accepted my Facebook friend request.
Yeah, we fucking had a good time and drew huge numbers for the screening and live Q&A, live podcast, and so we really appreciate
Hopefully we get to get a sequel out of it.
So it slides on the list because it's half found footage.
Yeah,
but they need to get their respect.
It's enough to be what it is, you know, that sort of mockumentary that feeds into an actual horror movie. And it's so well done, and no one else has done that.
Yeah.
Number 1. My number 1 is August Underground Mortem.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a movie that makes you feel like you shouldn't be watching this.
I put it on the honorable mentions because we talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of go to different territories that people may not have seen, you know, but were more easily accessible to them also. But August Underground Mortem is the best. August Underground.
It is
by far.
A fucking nasty movie. Just, you know, the shit that those people put themselves through to make that movie. The prosthetic effects looking so fucking real with that gritty camera. You know, the necrophilia scene. It takes a lot to turn my stomach in a movie these days. And that movie
necrophilia
did
scene
it.
definitely was so hard to watch. So, yeah, definitely worthy of a number 1. My number 1, as I said, is Creep.
Yeah.
What's the name of the werewolf again?
Peach Fuzz.
Peach Fuzz. That movie is so fucking... That's a good portrayal of mental illness.
Yeah,
that guy
absolutely.
Fucking nailed it. Mark Duplass, and you got to check out that Room 104 because he made it too. The same guys that made Creep made the Room 104, the Duplass brothers.
Yeah.
And I loved that movie. It was so good. The ending was amazing.
And
couldn't have been better.
Yeah.
Number 2's coming out soon. And
not a movie that hid behind found footage as a mask to hide it.
It was a plot device.
Yeah,
it was important to the movie that was found footage. It couldn't have not been.
The whole movie was actor driven. There's very little special effects in it. You know, the whole thing is just driven by the actors' performances. And you know, Mark Duplass as the creep, and the other actor who...
It's just so good. I don't want to spoil it for you because, like, talking about it extensively, I think it was one of my good movies, like, way back when. You know, it's been out since we've been in the show. And I think we've talked about it before, but yeah, you've got to check it out. It's still streaming now on Netflix. If you haven't seen Creep, do yourself a favor. You can watch that right now.
Yeah, stop what you're doing and go watch it.
No, don't stop.
Don't stop what you're doing.
You're listening
Finish
to
the show. Finish the show. We're almost done.
Watch Creep. Send me an email. postmortemshow@gmail.com. Let me know what you think about it.
Yeah. I have a 0.
I have a 0 as well.
What is your 0?
My 0 is first-person shooter.
Nice.
FPS.
I forgot about that one.
Remember that?
Yeah.
This door is locked. It's a movie that's like Doom.
Yeah.
But you're the guy in the video game. Essentially, you see a gun like a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
And there's demons and shit. A bunch of crazy shit goes down. But like, you try to take something. Like, you try to open a door, and you'll be like, this door is locked.
Yeah, and the voice is totally... Is it Duke Nukem's voice?
And no, it's not, but it definitely...
sounds
it was
like
a
him.
German guy that made this, and it's just a labor of love.
Yeah.
I love first-person shooter.
Yeah, the guy
Everyone
never made
should check
another
it out.
movie. You know, it was just,
it's just fucking
all he needed.
so good.
He just blew his
It's a
wad on
throwback
it.
to Duke Nukem, Doom, Wolfenstein, and it's amazing.
Great kind of movie to get high and watch.
You could watch that fucker multiple times.
Yeah.
And just have it on in the background.
And I've watched it twice now, and the second time I watched it, I noticed a lot more than the first, because there's a lot going on in the background of that movie.
Yeah.
You know, and you're so caught up in the action that's in the front of the screen, it's like playing a first-person shooter.
The beginning is like 8-bit
Yeah.
animation and shit, too, and there's like pause scenes.
It has
You
a
have to hit
loading
keys.
screen.
Like, when you grab something, it disappears.
Yeah.
And it like shows it like almost like in a health bar and shit.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. It's such a love letter to 90s first-person shooters.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Wolfenstein, Doom, Duke Nukem, that Quake, that whole era. And that's my era of games.
Yeah,
like, I
for
still
sure.
play those games, you know. I love that shit.
Heretic and
Yeah.
fucking Blood. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My 0 is Regurgitated Sacrifice. It is a first-person film. Lucifer Valentine is a character in the movie, interacting with the cast.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but man, we talk about it so much.
Yeah.
That, you know, we talk about Lucifer Valentine,
Yeah.
and we're not going to stop. But
Yeah. That's why I made it my 0.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't take much to talk about it, but it isn't really something that you immediately think of as a
I don't really think
POV
about it as
movie.
a first-person movie. Still,
A POV.
yeah.
But he even talks about how that's what it is, that Lucifer Valentine is a character in the movie, and you're seeing the movie through Lucifer Valentine's eyes.
Yeah, wow. Never got that, I don't think.
Yeah.
After all these viewings, how much we've talked about it, I got that fact.
Yeah.
All right, honorable mentions.
Blair Witch Project, of course. Hell House LLC, a movie that I recently reviewed, is a found footage movie about people who run a haunted house in an actual haunted house. Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones.
I love that one. It's on my honorable mentions as well. It's the best paranormal activity.
Absolutely. And one of those weird ones out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
it sort of deviates from the Paranormal Activity format, and it goes to, like, East LA, and it's more steeped in you know, Chicano culture and Santeria and all that. Very cool movie.
Definitely.
Double shot of Wreck and or Quarantine. Wreck is a better movie.
Wreck
but
is awesome.
Yeah.
Quarantine is actually okay.
It's
though.
good, yeah. Cannibal Holocaust, the one that started it all.
On mine as well, just like Wreck and Quarantine.
The Last Exorcism.
On mine as well.
Sacrament. Europa Report, which is a found footage sci-fi movie. Behind the Mask. And one that I haven't talked about much, and one that kind of slipped under the radar for a lot of people, is Grave Encounters and Grave Encounters 2.
I've never seen those.
They're good.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks horrible because
Yeah.
it's that green, like, night vision, like,
Yeah.
picture is not good.
It's interesting because the first movie, you really have to watch them both, like, back to back. The first movie, it takes a minute to get into it because it feels like it's just going to be a cheap-ass fucking, like, Ghost Hunters ripoff. But as the movie builds and they start very subtly incorporating the special effects, it gets really fucking cool. And the second movie is still done through that first-person perspective with the cameras, but it's on the other side in the ghost world with the camera being passed around between different people.
That's cool.
And it was very well done, and one that
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've avoided it for fucking at least 10 years, right?
Yeah, it's been around probably since Netflix at least started streaming. And you know, I watched it years ago, and it's one that I don't really think that much about. But when it came up in my research, I was like, oh yeah, I really like those movies.
Okay. It would have been on my top 5 if it wasn't a full movie. But VHS's Siren segment.
Yeah.
When her face splits open and she just likes him.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. It's so fucking good. And Siren, the movie itself, was really fucking good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they made it. And it was almost as good as the segment. The
Yeah.
segment was shorter, had more impact. You
Yeah,
know,
less CG.
A little bit CG on the Siren movie. Still passed with me. So
I think the segment was called Amateur Night.
Yeah, Amateur Night. Yeah. Doom with The Rock. It's a horrible movie. Hear me out, okay? So, Doom is my favorite game of all time. Doom 2 is my favorite game. I love killing demons. Right? The movie with The Rock is horrible. But there is one sequence where it turns to POV.
And goes God mode.
And goes fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And that segment is awesome. But not a movie, so can't make the list. Wreck, Quarantine, Cannibal Holocaust, Taking to Deborah Logan, Pearl and Emma, Activity of the Mark Ones, Last Exorcism, Troll Hunter.
Yeah.
Troll Hunter is pretty cool.
The movie was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah. The Devil Inside, have you seen that?
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
I liked it because it was almost like There Will Be Blood, like the preacher that's kind of full of shit.
Yeah.
And you see it.
Yeah.
And then everything, the shit hits a fan, so. And my last one, Man Bites Dog.
That's a fucking good movie. I forgot about that one. I saw that one on VHS.
I almost put it on the list.
1999.
So, yeah, I almost put it on the list, but didn't quite want to bump out. And it's less accessible.
Yeah, and it's not quite horror as much as exploitation.
Someone could stream instantly.
Yeah.
Like the rest of my list, and I kind of wanted to tell people about some movies they might have, not heard about or avoided for whatever reason.
Yeah, Man Bites Dog you have to go and find. It's a French movie, and very, very well done.
Yeah. So this list is suggested by listener RJ Lindsay. He sent us an email with this list. I'm going to read you his email, and I'm going to read you his top 5.
All right.
He greets us in the email with, "What up, Strokes?" Which, every time I hear that from a listener, like, kind of makes me smile on the inside. Kind of makes my heart twinkle a little bit.
They're paying attention.
They're paying attention. If you don't know, I'm the sexual stroganoff.
That's right. What up, Strokes?
That's what people say when they see me in the street.
Yeah. They're walking by.
With
your funk theme music playing behind you.
You only got like 10 episodes to go back if you want to hear the story of that, but it gets a little inappropriate. It gets a little crazy. So.
On this show, no.
Fair warning. No, this has been a kind of tame episode by all standards.
Yeah, it has.
Harvey, Firestein, Human Centipedes. I mean, we've went far darker places.
There was like I don't think there was even an incest joke on this show.
I know. Pretty much. There's probably a couple. RJ Lindsay, his email says, "Thanks for taking my idea for the next show. I've always been a huge fan of the POV found footage genre of horror movies." Wow. Huh? And he says, parentheses, "and I feel like that's not a very popular stance." Like you, Dom. All right. Hating the found footage. Props. I kind of hate it too, but just because of the shitty ones.
Yeah, it's been overdone.
Yeah, for sure. Like zombies. I hate zombie movies.
Yeah.
Because there's too many of them.
Which is funny, because in like 1999, 2000, I fucking love zombie movies.
Dead Alive. Think about these movies that came out 20 years ago, and they're so much better than the shit that comes out now. He says, "I don't care." With that being said,
he says, "Fuck you, Dom."
He says, "Fuck you, Dom, you piece of shit." JD is my favorite host of the Postmortem Show. Actually, he didn't say that in his email. I'm just I'm ghostwriting for him.
Yeah, JD is my favorite host of the Postmortem Show too. So,
all right,
that other guy's a cocksucker.
So he says, "Here's my top 5 POV style horror films. Number 5, Quarantine, which we covered. Number 4, Poughkeepsie Tapes.
Yeah,
of course. Number 3, VHS series. I guess there is multiple found footage segments in VHS.
The second one, I think, is all POV.
Yeah. Number 2, Wreck series. Number 1, Cannibal Holocaust.
Ah.
That's the granddaddy of them all.
It is. Yeah, Blair Witch Project is the one that kind of brought it into the modern mainstream, but Cannibal Holocaust was the one that really fired that first load. Honorable mentions.
Number 1, Chernobyl Diaries. Never seen it, have you?
Yeah, that one was actually okay.
Number 2, Blair Witch Project. I guess it gets a pass from me. Number 3, House October Built. The House is October Built. You like that one?
I did. It could have been better. Yeah.
I give that. I wish I had more thumbs so I can give those titties 4 thumbs down.
You say nay, good sir. Nay, nay.
Number 4, Creep. Yes.
Yep.
Number 5, As Above, So Below. Nope.
Never saw that one.
Number 6, Last Exorcism. Yes. Number 7, Megan is Missing. Very good. Have
Never heard of that.
It's on Netflix. It's fucking good.
Really?
It's really good. Yeah. It's actually one of those movies that you watch and you're like, okay, but it's actually good. So yes, 2 thumbs up to that one, my friend. Thank you for the suggestions, and I'm sorry for giving a thumbs down to
your titties.
I'm sorry for giving your titties 4 thumbs down. Number 8, The Last Horror Movie, 2003. I saw this, but I don't remember it.
I don't either, yeah. It's a British movie, I think.
I don't remember it, so maybe I should...
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, I do... Yeah, I do remember that. That was a good one. It had a really cool ending.
Maybe we'll nostalgia kill that in a future segment, because I've seen it, but I just don't remember it. Number 9, Diary of the Dead. I gave that fucking... If I give the other one 4 thumbs down, I give that one 8, because... Man.
I never saw it.
George A. Romero, I love you. R.I.P. I'm sorry that I don't like that movie. But I like you. Thank you for all you've done.
He finally got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I know, that's awesome. So thank you. He also says, hope this works, guys. Thanks again for the shout-out. So,
awesome. Thank
you, RJ, for sending in your list. We really appreciate it. If you guys have a top 5 suggestion, go ahead and send it to postmortemshow@gmail.com.
Message us on Facebook.
Like our Facebook page. You can add us. You can add my personal page.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a picture, if you don't look like a really hot, like, foreign girl that says, like, cam girls now, blah, 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 blah.
Looking for a good time.
Yeah, then I'll probably add you.
Just don't try and sell me steroids or knockoff sunglasses.
Yeah, for sure. And then just go ahead and join the new Facebook group, Postmortem Show Horror Movie Podcast. So thanks again, RJ. That's it for POV and found footage.
Yeah. Solid lists.
Solid list, pretty good.
Yeah. Got some movies to watch now. Some movies I haven't seen. Might have to go home and watch Megan is Missing tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go find Megan.
You don't want to.
No?
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Oh, okay.
Megan's still missing.
Okay.
I fuck it up for everyone.
Damn you!
Actually, I have no idea if Megan's still missing. I saw it and it was good, but I don't remember anything. She might be found.
Yeah.
If not, we're on the case.
All right. We'll go look. I'll put on my Sherlock Holmes hat and get my magnifying glass out.
All right.
So, I guess that's the conclusion. And as H.P. Lovecraft once said, as he detached his lips from Harvey Firestein's anus, though Harvey Firestein also had his lips attached to H.P. Lovecraft's anus.
69 to centipede.
Wow. If it smells like fish,
throw the fucker back.
To David.
Gotta call my lawyer.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I gotta call my brother. I better call my housekeeper. I gotta call my lawyer. Forget my lawyer.
All right. Human centipede, I'm stuck on you, you're stuck on me. We work together like a family, like a human centipede. There's an old German surgeon known for separating Siamese twins. But all he really wants to do is put them back together again. And when 3 people come around, he'll sew their anus to their mouth, making the first human centipede. The human centipede, I'm stuck on you, you're stuck on me. We walk around like a family, like a human centipede. Well, there's 2 hot Americans and 1 angry Japanese man. And they cry and try to get away before the surgery began. But now 3 have become 1, and they all have so much fun, walking around like a centipede, a human centipede. Centipede, a human